It's always nice to come somewhere brand new or at least different. And Circuit de Saint-Croix is one such facility. It is a quite cracking facility, uh, part road course as well. You'll see that on the schedule when we mention that for Series 6 of all things of the World Super Touring Championship. And Media Day is here, and testing will ensue not long after we've closed off the feed here. Um, and it's your regular commentary team, Adrian Michael Reese here. Hello, and alongside me, Michael Swinnerton,
Hello, hello. Yes, indeedy.
with the drone as per usual, and a very happy manager at the end of season 5 because his protege, someone that he gave up his racing seat for what seems to be what 3 seasons ago now. Has ended up winning the damn thing in a front-wheel drive car, no less. When we were worried that Alfa and BMW were running away with it. How has his off-season been, being world champion?
Yeah, very good. He can't really remember a portion of it to begin with. Bless him. But they've hit the ground running with a winter testing schedule. Him and Kenny Ekstrom at Volvo. Uh, so they've hopefully worked some foibles out with the car. Hopefully they can uh, do a repeat performance per se.
To deliver
We'll
us
have to,
more of the same.
yeah, we'll have to wait and see.
And do we see more of the same when we see the liveries for Cars 1 and Cars 2, no less? Anthony Ingram and Kenny Ekstrom right there. Yep, no real changes to the familiar blue, dark blue, and yellow. Typical Volvo colours, if I do say so myself.
Yep. So very much if it ain't broke, don't fix it. They're going to try and do a repeat performance here. They've got cars 1 and 2 on the cars, obviously, or they've got numbers 1 and 2 on the cars, which always brings a small amount of pressure, of course. So they'll be looking to uphold that. But as I said, the work has gone into mainly getting Ekstrom up to speed because obviously he had a bit more of a bumpy ride last season compared to Ingram. So hopefully they can act a bit more of a fully coercive team this time, and get Ekstrom a few more race wins this season by. But yes, otherwise
Yeah.
it's no changes at Volvo, and in fact you're probably going to see that we're going to be saying no changes a lot. Just a quick spoiler alert.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it. And if it ain't fixed, don't break it. And that's the same for Fisichella and Wittmann in their usual red and green. Sabine Wittmann, the Green Goddess there, and Fabrizio Fisichella in the Italian Pride red. Yeah, we this this might be a bit of a boring one. We normally sort of come into this with such anticipation. We're like, yep, it's the same cars, it's the same liveries. What do you expect? It's going to work. Let's go.
Yeah, we know they're going to be a threat. They've proved it time and time and time again. It'll just be interesting to see if, assuming one of these cars is in the championship hunt at the end of the season, will it be the red one or will it be the green one? They've
As for the
Whitman has
brands,
obviously won it twice. Fisichella has come pretty close on a couple of occasions. So will it be Fisichella's time to shine, or will Whitman pick up a third title and really run away with the record books? We'll have to wait and see.
with their consistency throughout season 5, it's them still with the manufacturer crown top of that particular pile, even if they didn't get the drivers' championship this time by. As for Renault, then a very good second in the manufacturers, but boy, have we seen them do the same thing, and it cannot be helped to think that if they do well at the start, it's going to crumble again like it did the past 2 seasons. But as you see there, they are trying to run with the if it ain't broke, don't fix it. You've got Bianchi in the number 6, and you've got Wirtz in the number 5.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, last season was less of a drop off than season 4 was for these two Renaults. They just need, if they hit the ground running at the beginning of the season, they just need to keep that momentum running. They have the car to do it. They have the driving talent to do it. Wirtz is a previous champion. He is a proven quantity. Bianchi came into this championship winning races straight off the bat. He has proven himself to be quick enough. They just need to not drop off. They just need that consistency, and they will become immensely dangerous to everybody around them.
Motor races and indeed championships aren't won on paper. Can you imagine racing around a piece of A4? It doesn't bear thinking about. And here goes nothing for BMW. Same liveries, Jamie Webber, new teammate, but it's familiar features. Marco Kubica, privateer last year, European champion the season before. BMW have bred this driver basically, and we'll look forward to seeing how he fares as a front runner, hopefully alongside the rest of the front runners.
Yeah, Marco Kubica is absolutely a BMW mainstay. He's said himself in an interview recently that he grew up in BMWs, that his family owned 3 Series and things back in the 80s. So he is so well versed with what BMW have to offer that he could basically build a 3 Series in his sleep at this point if you gave him that task. And yes, this is his first year as a full manufacturer in the World Series. Obviously, he's used to that manufacturer pressure in the European Series, but now he's doing it on the world stage. He had that year in the Privateer Beamer to get to grips with some of the tracks that he was less familiar with. So hopefully, he will hit the ground running. Just depends on how well he gels with the new team, I suppose.
It is still a healthy dose of manufacturer input at the front of the field. The cream has risen to the top, and some big names, whilst not the cream of the crop, must improve this season. Ford, especially. It is season 3 of the Polo and Salo lineup, and if nothing happens this season, one wonders if Ford will venture forth after Series 6. I wonder.
Well, we've certainly not heard any noise about it. Ford still remain committed to this championship, as well as, obviously, as we've previously seen, their new American Super Touring Works efforts with some more focuses there. They are just very good at just sort of being there and just being on the grid, which is not necessarily a bad thing, but they could do with coaxing a little bit more speed out of these focuses if they want to move up the grid. Otherwise, they're going to end up with cars 9 and 10 again next year. And if they're not careful, they could end up with cars 11 and 12, which they've had before. So it's one of those situations where, yes, we'd like to see them do better, but unfortunately, someone does have to finish last.
And speaking of not finishing first, even though they did last season, Honda with 11 and 12 on the car, which in the Worlds is very much a first for Lammers there.
Yeah,
Nicky Lammers, and one of the standout performers in the Privateers last season. Um, let's hope he's not bitten off more than he can chew here in a, a team that is teetering on the edge, I think, just like the Fords are. Great to be there, but you've got to be at the front to sort of state your case.
yeah, absolutely. I mean, Honda's biggest issue since introducing this FL5 Civic, really, and this is now its 3rd season of competition, um, great at qualifying, cannot turn those qualifying performances into race finishes. So that's what they've really got to work on for this season. Nicky Lammers now has the extra added responsibility of being a team leader now that Jason Thompson has moved on. Thompson, incidentally, is going to go and race an E30 BMW M3 in a classic touring car division this year, and I'm racing against him, so that's going to be fun.
Not
Um,
necessarily semi-retirement then for Jason.
no, he's still keeping his hand in, of course. He's still quick. He's still got speed in him. It just him and Honda decide to part ways and find other opportunities, and that allowed, of course, Michele Zanardi to show up here. Um, Zanardi now has the extra pressure of running for a manufacturer. He's never had that before, so hopefully he hits the ground running there. And yeah, they've got a lot to prove. This team, I think they've got a lot. I think they might have taken their last in the manufacturer standings a bit personally. So here's hoping they kind of come back with a vengeance. And as I say, if they can just qualify, if they can just transfer their qualifying results into race results, they're going to be as dangerous as Renault are, quite frankly. The amount of times we saw a Honda, if not on the front row, then in the top four and just watch it go backwards in a hurry, was innumerable
Yeah.
last year. So hopefully they learn to keep the thing out of reverse gear this time.
And Zanardi got there through the team we're going to see next, as you see a shot of the entire 12 manufacturer cars. Now, sticking out like the most entertaining sore thumb we've ever seen last season was Cobra
Yes.
Motorsport, Michele Zanardi, and this guy, Carlos Moreno. They just put everyone else to shame, not just the privateers, but some of the works teams are like, what do we need to do? And alongside Carlos Moreno, Jaime Garcia. Same, again, I mean, well backed and with good reason this time.
Yeah. So yes, this is the same team. They somehow outperform the raw speed of these Ford Focuses and then some by getting the privateer crown and outright race wins, shocking everybody, including us. And yeah, of course, they had to fill their second seat. So Jaime Garcia here, another Spanish driver to the grid. So both Spanish drivers are both in Fords somehow. We've ended up at that place. But yes, Jaime Garcia is one of the people who raced in the Intercontinental Alpine Cup last season, a one-make series for the Alpine A110. It's a very good little one-make series that allows you to go up the ladder of both touring cars and sports cars. It sort of opens the door in both disciplines, and this is where Jaime Garcia has landed in his first ever World Super Touring ride. So we wish him the best of luck here in his rookie season. He is going to be one of a few rookies going for
Yeah.
that particular honours. And then in his favour, of course, is there are no manufacturer rookies, which is what we have had in the past. All the rookies this year are in privateer cars, so they're on a bit more of an equal footing.
We're going to see two more Alpine alumni shortly. But before we reach the back of the pack, we're going to see the what should be the favourites. Well, they should have been the favourites last season. Perhaps the wake-up call was given, and the likes of Liam Hartley and Olivier Dumas are going to give it both barrels this time by. Same again, same livery, can't break what doesn't need fixing. And we'll use other metaphors in certain orders as well. But yeah, the tried and tested lineups, all pretty much all round. You can't fail, and good as it is,
Well, yeah, here's hoping. They had a much better second half of their season compared to their first half last year. They just need to, rather like Renault, but just the other way round. They had the consistency, they just didn't hit the ground running. If they can hit the ground running and keep that consistency, then they will happily be privateer champions once again. We know the team is good. We know the team has got the speed to do it. We know Dumas has got the speed to do it. Hartley is a little bit unproven. He did show some very good flashes of speed last year. Hopefully, he can transfer that raw pace into something a little bit more refined to get him those good results that I think he can get ultimately. I just don't quite think he's done going through his learning curve yet. So hopefully that's what he can do or succeed at doing in this season here with these tried and tested Alfa Romeos.
rear wheel drive as per the manufacturer team, and that puts us up to six world. Oh, wait a minute. No, we have got the seventh rear wheel drive car right here, and the Asian conglomerate team Red Flag Racing have managed to plump the funding together for a second go at the Privateer Championship. Zhou Sheng then in the Crown Athlete, one that we still, I mean, it was a surprise input last season. I'm surprised they've gone for another run and not focused on trying to compete in a better position in Japan, perhaps.
Yeah, you'd think that. I mean, I think part of I think that's a two-pronged thing in that they want to be here on the world stage to prove that, you know, uh, uh, these people are capable regardless of where they're from, and that they love this car so much. They're such fans of this Crown Athlete that they want to see it on the world stage now that Toyota are focusing their efforts with the Corolla in Japan. And I think the other prong of that is the Japanese series is full up. There's no more grid slots
Yep, same
available in the
again.
Japanese series, so they can't as much if they might want to race there. There's no room at the inn there, so they may as well race here, where they can go for higher glory, being an international championship compared to a national championship, be seen by more people and a higher audience.
And they think they got this, I suppose.
Yeah, and they had enough
So
fun last year, and all the sponsors were happy to plump up the funding again. So here they are again. I wish Zhao Cheng the best of luck. He had a lot of fun racing on circuits he'd never been on before. Now he's got a year's worth of experience under his belt. In theory, that should give him the confidence to start slinging this Toyota around a little bit more and maybe getting some better results out of it.
so healthy to still see a vast quantity of familiar faces then, and so much so that the familiar livery of the PKP Racing BMW outfit out of Poland have managed to acquire a very decent prospect indeed. This is a European champion off the back of a season where Hyundai have decided to bail out of European competition. We don't know what's happening yet. That meant that Gianni Liuzzi, the European champion, has had to fill the slot that the former European champion has taken. We're going to see, I mean, dare I say it, this is going to be a contender for privateer honours, I think.
You would hope, yes. We know the BMW is quick. It might have lost out over the last couple of years to the Alfa Romeo, both in manufacturer and privateer outfits. But Gianni Liozzi, of course, he went on an absolute tear with Hyundai, winning that title a couple of seasons ago. Um, I think he won. I think it was something silly like 4, 5 races in a row. Like even with the top 10 reverse grid, he still started 10th and then went on to win race two as well. He was unstoppable for a period of time. And that Hyundai was rear wheel drive, so he knows what he's doing with a rear wheel drive car. So yes, in theory, he should do well. He's obviously got a lot of tracks to learn this time by. Obviously, he's not been to places like Interlagos and whatnot. So that's going to be his challenge, and getting to used to a car with a bigger engine in it, because of course that's going to handle a bit differently to the Hyundai he's used to doing. On the Hyundai front, we'll quickly cover that little tangent now. Yes, they have pulled out of the European Super Touring Championship. We're very sad to see them go. But they did leave a rather cryptic thing on their social medias where they just had the gif of the Terminator saying, "I'll be back." Not entirely sure what that one means yet. We'll just have to wait and see.
Well, this also leads to something that I've discovered as well. PKP, I mean, Liozzi's not a BMW driver, is he? So that, I mean, that would lead and make sense. But having been with Hyundai for so long, and PKP have said he's here with backing, but they didn't say who from. Work that one out for yourself, if you will,
I
and we'll
see.
draw a discreet veil cloth over that, and go on to the back of the pack. And so familiar liveries, just a different lineup, and the other two Alpine drivers that have got some opportunity and some track experience. Maybe we'll see these cars do a lot better than they did in season 5. Misha Katzberg then from Holland and Ralf Bieder from Germany have taken the 2 seats at Tamiya.
Yeah, so with Felix Rydell moving on to a bit more of a team management role and Sakon Kobayashi heading up Team Tamiya's new Japanese series efforts. Well, I say new; it's in they're in their second season over there. But Sakon has basically gone to race back home again, so it's easier for him and his family and things, which is fair enough. Um, Felix moving on to a team ownership role, as I said. He seems to be enjoying that a bit better. And yeah, so Misha Katzberg and Ralph Bieler here, as you said, both taking part in the Alpine Intercontinental Cup last year. Misha Katzberg winning that Drivers' Championship. So we know Misha has speed. And the other thing going for these two is Katzberg and Bieler were teammates at uh, for their Alpine efforts with Krum Rennsport was the team they used to race for. Um, so they already know each other. They're good mates. They get on well. They know how to behave around each other on track and will help each other out at every opportunity, as well as being racing drivers every now and then. And again, in theory, if this Honda gets a bit more development, like its Works outfit cousins further up the grid, we could see these guys being a big old upset. We're used to seeing the Tamiya cars being at the back like this with no one behind them, which, it's sad, but somebody has to finish last. But I feel like with this big shake-up in the team, this could really pay dividends for them. I feel like they might have got the formula right eventually.
And it'll be a wake-up call to the Honda Works effort if these two are actually battling with them on track or in the laps that we'll see around the hybrid race facility road course at Saint-Croix when we take a closer look at that in the next couple of hours. So, schedule time. No major changes except for one event around here, two races around here, usual format then. Two sprint races, reverse grid race 2, and all your favourites are still there. So Interlagos will be round 1. Bathurst, it will be round 2 for the summer Super Touring event, the winter event being in Japan, with the Japanese Championship rather, at Bathurst. Dragon Trail Gardens, another familiar venue, but that might be at the height of rainy season. With fingers crossed we get a dry race there. Maggio West still on the calendar then. Um, some of these shorter venues actually making sense for touring cars. I suppose, especially if it is Barcelona National, if only it was with my personal preference, the removal of the final chicane, as I'm assuming your preference as well there, Swinny.
Yes.
A1
Yeah,
ring,
ideal world it'd be Barcelona National without the final chicane, but that's
exactly.
not an option, so the series organisers have made that compromise. Yes, continue.
A1 ring without any chicanes, thankfully. Just plenty of hairpins to boot. And then this layout, Saint-Croix, sort of square-ish, but there is an offshoot that heads down a very long Route Nationale before heading back through some sort of S-bends there. Um, the Nürburgring Sprint layout, another familiar venue, another shorter venue. Deep Forest, I wonder if that's going to be in the dawn. Brands Hatch then before Road Atlanta. I think the sensible option here was to put Road Atlanta after Brands Hatch. I think it was the other way around before, wasn't it? Road Atlanta then, um, and then Fuji GP. It's just, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, but make it look a little bit better with a new venue. A very good lineup to have there, Swinny.
Yeah, so it's all the tracks, as you said, we know and love. They are known quantities. We know they provide good racing, which is why they're still on the calendar. Um, yes, swapping Road Atlanta and Brands Hatch around is going to help the teams out massively with transport costs and things. And of course, with no venue being taken away and St. Croix being added, it means we now have a 12-round championship rather than an 11-round championship. So that's a bit more extra mileage for these teams to cover. This track is going to be an interesting one on the subject of this new French venue. It means we have a French round. For the World Super Touring Championship, which I think is a good idea. This track was trialled by the European Series last year, and the series organisers liked what they saw with the Euros. Therefore, it got the date with the World Series. The Euros are also going back here as well for this upcoming season. It's an interesting one, St. Croix, because even though we are using the shortest of the three layouts at this venue, we're still going to be doing 2-minute lap times. That's how big this place
It's a
is.
big place. It's a
It is
big old place.
yes, it is. If you took the Nürburgring, put it in France, and doubled the track width and smoothed all the bumps out, that's this place.
Yeah, thankfully, I would having done laps around here in the past, the other layouts, this is the best one. Would you agree?
Absolutely, yeah. I've in my limited experience, I did have great fun racing a '90s Grand Prix car, a Simtek of all things, around this track. It suited it very, very well.
The This circuit, I mean, we've been in France before with the Euros. It's a bit of a shame then. I mean, I guess that if the money's there, go for it. What we unfortunately missed out on, I suppose, was the Alsace version of affairs, which, to my knowledge, to my mind, was a bit more of a touring car style venue with a bit more sort of heritage to it. This, however, is a lot safer.
Yeah, I mean Alsace is still on the European calendar, so they've got two French rounds, as they did last year. So it's not going anywhere per se, but yes, I do see your point. It would be interesting to see these guys go around Alsace, and never say never. It might be that they choose to alternate the two tracks for the French venue going forwards. Who knows?
And I would much prefer this variant rather than go around the S bends around, well, both layouts. Like there's no sort of redeeming feature. It's just all forest, and you can't tell where you are half the time. Unlike the Nordschleifer.
Yeah, the Nordschleife has a bit more by way of landmarks and things. You can tell where you
That's
are.
it.
But yes, as I say, it's the shortest layout. It's still going to be a 2-minute lap time. The track will be learnt by the drivers in testing sessions and whatnot. We'll just have to see who clicks with it first.
We might have gone off on a tangent there, so we'll let these guys do their uh, two, 3 hours worth of testing. They can pretty much do what they like to the car in terms of setup. I don't think they can just sort of bolt anything superfluous on. But we'll just have to wait and see what happens by the time these cars have flown down to Brazil and entertained the masses there. On behalf of Michael Swinnerton, then, Hayden Michael Reese here, signing off, and we'll see you for another entertaining season of World Super Touring action. Good racing, everyone.